Hey, what's going on, guys? Jason Lohr here with Jason Lohr Photography and Films, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast series, Real Talks with Filmmakers. For those of you guys who are watching the video version of this podcast, I'm actually outside in the backyard of a couple of good friends of ours in Anacortes, Washington. So, this is our first stop in our trip to Switzerland, which I'm looking forward to going to. First time out of the country and also first time in Switzerland. Um, Definitely looking forward to that. But until then, we're here hanging out with a couple of good friends who were kind enough to let us stay at their place and also give us a tour of Anacortes in Washington State. So far I'm really liking it too. It's quite a trip. I've never been here before. I've been to Seattle, but never this far up before. And apparently, Canada is only an hour away from here, so might be another stop in our next adventure when we're out and about in these neck of the woods. But no, it's definitely a really nice place. Lots of mountains and lots of fields. And it's a nice like break from the city too. Which, speaking of, we were out in Seattle. It was Peter's first time in Seattle, so I knew definitely he had to experience the Space Needle, but most importantly, the Chihuly Garden and Art Museum. So basically, this is a museum that has all the artworks of Dale Chihuly, who is famous for his glass art. And first time I actually went to his museum a couple years ago when I came to Seattle for the first time. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I just know from like the brochures that it's a lot of glass artwork, and I didn't know what it was, but I definitely know it looked really fascinating. So I decided to give it a shot. Went inside and just see all these. They look bizarre, but at the same time, very mesmerizing, like glass work of like just all these glass in different colors, different shapes, like spiraling, twisting, and folding and unfolding. And I was just thinking, it's like, wow, I don't know what the heck I'm looking at, but it's absolutely beautiful. And man, when the light hits those glasses, man, they really do shine a whole light into the whole room. And the thing that really uh, got me interested in you know, the, the artwork is, the creator himself, which is Dale Chihuly. And in one of the tours, there's like a theater room where you see like interviews of like how he, puts all the pieces together and his way of thinking, and also, sorry, the way he, you know, brings all his art to life. And this is something why I believe like even filmmakers can learn from Dale, is like just how he brings all his creations to life. And one of the videos that we saw in there was how he spoke about not really thinking about what he's doing. Basically, to him, it's like when he's thinking, you know, he feels like there's something not right about what he's doing. Basically, like he's saying if he has to think about, you know, what he's doing as far as like creating like his artwork, then he feels like, he's there's something wrong. Like basically it's like self-doubting, if you will. I think that's the best way to put it. It's like self-doubting. Like he just keeps doing what he does best, which is creating all these like beautiful artwork, and it's just something natural. You know what I mean? It's like, heck, I've tried like different things in my life, but in the end, it always comes back to writing. I love telling stories. I love, writing stories most of all. It's like even if I go and do like, camera work or film editing and all that jazz, it's always going to come back to story writing. And, I do best when I'm not thinking about it too, because my body, my mind, and my heart and soul already knows a story. It's just now putting it on paper. That's the thing, and it's kind of like Dale, how he does his work. Like he just starts like putting paint on to the glass, and then just starts going to work. Like it's just all natural, and like he doesn't even have to think about it too. It's like just I believe that's how like artist works. Is like it's already there. It's like now you have to carry out like what's in your mind, body, and soul, or wherever the art and the passion comes from. So that's something that I learned from Dale and his art is like just not thinking about it, but just letting it happen. You know what I mean? So it's like just I think like that's one of the biggest things that causes writer's block majority of the time is that just thinking, overthinking, or hell, just even thinking in general. When now that we take a look at it, right? But it's like of course there is gonna be some stuff to think about, but it's just I think overall you just can't let it rule you. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of times it's like it really is straight from the heart, and that's what I see in a lot of his artwork is that yeah, they're not ordinary, but heck, when you look at it, just you come to wonder, man, how does someone come up with something so you know creative like that? You know, it's not for everybody. So very much like filmmaking, it's every film is not for everybody, but you know what? It does inspire quite a lot of people. So I look at all his artwork, I see different ones, but with like the same like element of creativity. And it's like kind of like me. It's like you know, I like to write different genres, but it's like it's gonna have like similar, or if not like the same, you know, elements that I like to use for my storytelling. And I believe we see that a lot in like other filmmakers right now. It's like you think of Michael Bay, you already know there's going to be a lot of action and explosions and all that jazz. You see M Night Shyamalan's film. It's like there's going to be a twist. So it's different stories, but all with the same element that defines the filmmaker, or in this case the artist, and all of us. So it's like we're not so different, Dale and I. And I think that's the same thing with like, other filmmakers as well. We're not so different. You know what I mean? It's like we all have like that same passion, and we just have to let it out and don't think too much about it.